Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. How are you guys doing? I am doing well. Today we're going to talk about the second Doom Tower normal secret room champion. It is Akoth the Seared. This guy is a beast. Now especially. Why do I say now especially? Hopefully if you're watching this video, either you have him or you plan on getting him at some point. I guess we all will at some point, right? Well, after they added the AI customization into the game, that new tool, well, he is a beast. We're talking one of the best champions, the best champion maybe in the game for a carry, certainly for an epic, for Spider 24, which is the best and most energy efficient place to farm Spider and Silver inside the game. Man, if you have this champion, congratulations, because now he is fixed. Because we can fix him. Because we can fix him.
I find you guilty of murder because you are killing it.
All right, so he's not as good, by the way. I want to start out by saying he's not as good as his, or as the first Doom Tower normal champion, Archmage Helmet. Archmage Helmet, though, could be the best epic champion in the game. I'm not lying. He is an AoE stun with turn meter decrease if it's not landed. He has increased speed, crit rate, and crit damage on a 3-turn cooldown, immune to turn meter effects. I mean, this guy's just an absolute beast with a speed in arena as well. But listen, Akoth the Seared is an Archmage Helmet. However, we will be spotlighting Archmage Helmet alongside him, by the way. Great tandem, right? However, he is a beast, like God tier at one area in the game, and it is Spider. Now, you can use him in other areas. To be clear, this is a Spider build that I'm going to show you guys, but I will tell you about the changes you're going to want to make to the Masteries and to the artifacts if you want to use them in other areas of the game, okay? This is, again, a Spider build. A1, Molten Punch, decreased crit rate, okay, whatever. Damage based on defense on this champion. Before we get to the A2, let's go to his A3. Let's skip over that for a moment because, and the reason we're doing that is he used to open with his A3. That's why he was kind of broken. You really can't run him on your auto attacks on Spider if he's opening up with his A3. It really mitigates his value, okay? You can still get it done sometimes, but you really have to go in there with the AI customization and make him change his A2 to both his opener and his first priority whenever the skill is available. Talk about that more in a second. So his A3 is an AoE attack, has a 75% chance of increasing the cooldown of all skills on target by 2 turns if they're under HP burn. Now the problem is they're not going to be under HP burn unless you have another burner on the same team who goes before him on his opening move. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to auto into that as his first move. However, he does place a shield buff equal to 20% of this champion's max HP on all allies for 2 turns. This is a great shield in his kit as well, okay? His A2, though, attacks all enemies, 20% chance of placing HP burn debuff for 2 turns. The chance of placing the debuff increases by 20% for each enemy alive. This makes him amazing for Spider. We're always going to be placing the HP burn debuff. Really, really great, right? And against, what is it, Sorath? Is it Sorath? Sorath the Frost Spider. Really good against him as well. Now, I can't show you him against the Frost Spider, unfortunately, because we're not on that cycle at the time of this recording, but he's good there as well. It's going to be a 60% chance because of the 2 minions that the Spider has, so it's not going to be a guarantee, but still on a 3-turn cooldown, it's not bad. It's going to be a good option for a lot of you guys, especially if you're not running, you know, Drexstar or Ignatius, the other champions that are popular to use on the Ice Spider. Anyway, that's his A2 regardless. On the passive, 10% chance, make it a 25 when booked, right, of placing a fear debuff on an enemy for 1 turn whenever they receive damage from an HP burn debuff placed on themselves, okay? So a really cool passive as well, as a little bit extra utility to his kit, having those fears in there to land on the Spiderlings or on any other mob that you're attacking. On his aura, ally HP in all battles by 25%, not bad, right? So Masteries, again, I want to be clear here. This is his Masteries for a Spider build. If it's not a Spider build, I'll tell you right now, you'll go offense instead of defense, and you'll go down and grab War Master as your tier 6 option. Now, before we get into the defense tree or the support tree here and point out a couple important Masteries, I will say, don't be afraid to go Eagle Eye if you need the accuracy on this champion. We're aiming for around 350 accuracy for Doom Tower Hard, aiming for around 250 accuracy for Doom Tower Normal, and about 12 accuracy per stage level on dungeons, okay? So don't be afraid to grab Eagle Eye. We're going with a stun set on this champion, so we're going Fearsome Presence. Increases the chances of placing a stun as well as his fear on his passive from skills or artifacts by 5%. So now it's going to be a 30% off of his passive to land that fear, and it's going to be a 23% to land the stun off of his artifact set, okay? Also, very important on this champion is not Bloodthirst, but Harvest Despair. Harvest Despair, very important to grab. Has a 60% chance of placing a leech debuff for 1 turn when placing his stun and his fear, okay? So that's a lot of leeches. It's going to spread very nicely because of all the stuns and fears that he's placing, and that's going to be a lot of healing that he's bringing to the table for support on top of his already great shield. Also important, guys, is picking up Sniper. So Sniper's going to increase the chance of placing the HP burns. It won't work with his stun or his fear, but it will work with the HP burns to, increase the chance of placing them, provided there's not enough enemies alive, okay? That's important for the Frost Spider especially. Master Hexer is going to have a chance at extending the duration of any debuff cast by this champion, again, for the HP burns. We don't really care about the decreased crit rate on his A1 so much, and I guess those are the most important masteries. Again, I keep clicking Bloodthirst, but Harvest Despair, Fearsome Presence, Master Hexer, and Sniper, okay? So artifacts, again, we're prioritizing HP. You'll see I have almost 60k HP. I'm aiming for above 50k HP on my Akoth build. However, I will say that he's an easy champion to build. We don't care about crit rate. We don't care about crit damage. Caveat, if you're using him in dungeons as kind of a defensive AoE nuker, debuffer, HP burner, well, yeah, we do want crit rate, we do want crit damage, so it changes how we're building him. But for Spider, we'd prefer him not do a ton of damage. So we're prioritizing HP even above defense. We want speed, we want accuracy, but really you don't have to overkill it with speed either, right? So it's just about accuracy and about some HP to give him a better shield on his A3. So that's about it, right? So in terms of artifact choices, I went with defense with a double HP roll. If I didn't have the double HP roll there with 20% HP, I would go HP on the ring. I would go HP on the amulet, crit damage on the amulet if you want to use him for dungeons, not for Spider, and accuracy on the banner. We went HP percentage on the gloves. We have Perception and a stun set on this champion on today's build. We have HP on the chest. We went speed on the boots. And again, we're looking for, speed, accuracy, HP for substats. We also get a lot of defense here, so I'll take it, right? That's a lot of defense, actually. So helps the defense a little bit. Granted, it does lead him to do more damage. Again, we don't want a ton of damage against the Spiderlings, but I'll take the defense. Keep him alive at the very least, right? And you can use him in other areas as well. Nice to have more defense on him against the Frost Spider as well. It's a shame that I can't show you the Frost Spider, but I can show you a really fun Spider team. So enough talk about him. Let's see him in action here, guys. So Spider 24, this is going to be a great option because of the AI changes. And by the way, I just have two stunners with him. So the Drakes and Archmage Helmet, right? One of my favorite epics and my favorite champion in the game. Scylla the Drakes, baby! And we have Apothecary and Diabolist, kind of just fillers for the team. We have 3 champions. It's not lost on me that we have 3 champions on this team with increased speed. Yeah, we got increased speed on lockdown and still has it on our passive too. So yeah, we got a lot of increased speed on this team. We don't need it. They don't stack. It's just in case you're a new viewer watching, right? We just happen to throw a couple add-ons in. It's nice to have Apothecary in there for the spot heals, but truthfully, neither of these champions are really necessary on this team, but it's nice to have the extra heals in case things go wrong for whatever reason. So the Spider will get a heal off, but this is going to be a 1 minute to 3 minute team, just depending on RNG. The important thing though is going to be 100% success rate. So look at all that damage already going off the Spider. Granted, she is going to get her heal off. It's going to happen. No big deal. But check this out. So we're landing stuns pretty consistently. That was Archmage Helmet's A2. We land about 50% stuns there. So got a little unlucky there. But, everybody's nice and healed. Cycling A1s here. Spider's turn meter is low. Now, in a perfect world, I wouldn't be running Diabolist and Apothecary as part of this team. I'd rather focus on, turn meter decreasers, right, for the Spider. So maybe even a lure on this team would work really well, but I didn't want to load up the team with a bunch of champions that you may or may not have. So this is not the perfect, I just want to be very clear, not the perfect team, but it's really around kind of the base, the foundation, the bastion of Akoth and Scylla Drakes and Archmage Helmet. You honestly don't even need all 3 of those champions, right? Because it's a little bit overkill, especially if you run the Seared in the stun set. But you guys can see this is taking a little bit longer than it did, you know, in previous runs. But still not that bad either, right? 1 minute and 40 seconds, probably going to end up being a little bit longer here as we wait for these burns to tick off. But you can see the strategy. This is the, you know, the churn and burn and stun strategy, right? Stun these spiderlings and then burn the spider mother down. This is a very, very nice team. You know, a very nice champion to go for. I would build secret room teams if you don't have him, just to get him now after the AI customization fixes were added to the game. So guys, we're going to go ahead and end it there. 11 million damage. Thank you very much. A little bit of heal off of those leeches, right? A little bit of heal off of those leeches. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this guide. Akoth the Seared. Great champion, worth getting. One of the best Spider's Den Stage 24 farmers in the game now. Just make sure, I'll show you guys as well. It's an important point. I'm glad I caught myself. Let me go to Edit Team. Let me go to Team Setup. And here's the team right here, guys. You'll just go to the setup. You don't need to change anybody else's, you know, auto configurations or anything like that. Go to the Seared. You go to the A2 here, and I put it as opener. I put it as first choice. There you go. That's it. Save, and he's fixed. Totally fixed. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to mention that every video, I swear. Until we get there, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. And as always, take care, guys.